January 3rd, 1804, a 22-year-old man named Thomas Millwood sat inside of a local pub in Hammersmith, England. Thomas decided he would walk to his parents' house, which was not far away, before he had to go back out later that night. His wife worked long hours and she often worked late. Thomas would meet her at work and escort her back home. There had been a string of all these increasingly bizarre sightings, or attacks as people were calling them. Thomas arrived at his parents' house and his sister immediately shut and locked the door behind him, and her first question to Thomas was, well, did you see it? Because the people of Hammersmith were absolutely convinced these attacks were being committed by a ghost. Thomas had attempted to convince his wife and mother-in-law and his family that there was just no way this was a real ghost. But he found himself thinking, you know what? If I run into that stupid Hammersmith ghost, I'm gonna bum rush them and beat them up. And it will prove to the entire town it was just a person the whole time. At about 10 p.m., Thomas was inside of his parents' house, sitting by the fire. He grabbed his jacket, and he walked outside. He turned onto Black Lion Lane, and immediately he saw this big bush. He saw movement enough to confirm to him that that must be a person back there, and just started sprinting towards this person. A big posse of men came tumbling out of that pub. They were being led by the town's tax collector, a man named Francis Smith. They saw a body in the middle of the road. Crouched over the body was this dark figure, and it looked at the posse and let out this unbelievable scream. The night watchman began sprinting at the creature. The rest of the posse rushed over to the body in the road. When they got to the body, they could tell this person was dead. The posse believed they had just discovered the latest victim of the Hammersmith Ghost, and the Hammersmith Ghost, they were wrong. When Thomas had rounded the corner onto Black Lion Lane, saw that figure moving around, it was Francis Smith, because he was basically laying in wait for the Hammersmith Ghost. And it was just Thomas's bad luck. He had chosen to wear his all-white work clothes. They both attacked, except Francis had a rifle, and the bullet hit Thomas directly in the face, which killed him instantly. Francis had no idea that it was a real person and ran to the pub, gathered up the posse, and said, "Hey, I got the ghost." Thomas's sister, Anne, who heard that scream, she had made it to her brother's body, and she was the creature crouched over him, screaming out of grief. The King of England would pardon Francis and shorten his sentence to just 1 year. It led to a modern-day ruling that says a person is allowed to use self-defense if they truly and reasonably believe they're in danger, even if they are wrong about the danger they face. The true identity of the Hammersmith Ghost, it was the town's shoemaker, to get revenge on his apprentices who had really badly scared his children by telling them ghost stories.